So now we're going to move to creating the paragraph for a visual text. It goes through exactly the same process. So let's put this together. We've collected all our evidence. Now what you need to do is to select what is the evidence that for you best works to convey that representation. So for me, I'm going to look at using these two. So I'm going to grab this one because I think that's a really a good one for me to look at. And I'm also going to grab this one down here. If I can do this. All right, so, and I want to use this one. Now, I'm also going to draw in this one as well. You can have 2 to 3. The reason I'm not using this one as much is because it just wasn't as strong for the point that I wanted to put around. I could really convey comradeship through these better. I'm using the lawyer paragraph because it is one that is a little bit harder than Peel, so that's why I'm going to tutor on that one. But you've got your structure there. My representation I already have. I have my starting point. The only thing I need to add into there is obviously the title, which I'll do in the example. My next step is why this representation is important. Well, you need to look out for your mates and your unit or your squadron. It's vital to war, but also to life. So I can bring this to contextualize it for us. We've never been to war. So I need to make this representation make sense. Now I'm looking at my evidence and I need to group it together. So the first thing I'm going to look at is just my camera types. So I'm going to go through the 3 different ones from my 3 different examples and I'm going to put them in this order. So I want to start with equality and then I want to show all the group together and I want to leave with this one, which is where he was jumping on the bomb, because it is through his actions and his emotion that we see that, and that is a really easy link for me to then jump into a different film technique. So you want to think about the order of your ideas so you can group everything together, and that's going to give you cohesion and flow. So here's the paragraph. Very, very easy. State your point. I've added in the clip, I've got my quotations and my capitals to show title, and there it is. Just that easy, straightforward statement about what my representation is. My next one, 1 to 2 sentences. Why is comrade important? And how is that important to us today? It's just that extra little step you can give. Now this is where the bulk of your understanding comes through. I have this time used that establishing sentence because I want to tell people that I'm starting with camera angles. So then I go into mid-level shot. It shows this. And then this one shows this. Furthermore, so I'm using my joining words as well. It has the close-up shot. And this is the most important sentence here. That I have that reason. The close-up shot shows the differing emotions and the different actions. So this is where I'm now going to join to my next kind of evidence. So there it is. The use of character actions throughout the clip strengthen the representation. Just that extra bit of cohesion and flow to my paragraph. And then I talk about the characters smiling, laughing, pulling pranks. So I have broken it up between the two. This part is really looking at the film technique of camera angles, and then I have this clear cohesive bridge into the next film technique. That is how you're going to get flow and cohesion into your writing. And the last one is really, it's just my representation again. It doesn't really link to the next paragraph. I could have something in there that for the comparison, but at the moment I've just left it as that. So when we break it up, my yellow highlighting, this is where I've got the text and the representation. So that you can see that in like a hamburger, I've got those two things there really holding my whole paragraph together. My purple is the amount of times that I link back and I am showing cohesion to the representation because that's showing how it's conveyed, and it's also giving flow. I've got multiple bits of evidence. So you need to be using the language, and if you look at all the other stuff that isn't highlighted, that's where you can also see understanding. So I'm taking the terminology and I'm doing something with it. Again, if we went through this, yep, I have a clear and accurate representation. I probably don't have concise, but I've got a clear, well, actually, yep, I got the clear and concise 2 sentences. I've used 2 to 3 and I've identified the features. It's cohesive with all the purple linking it back. And I'm showing you how, which is explaining the process. And it reflects the paragraph. Now, I'm not going to say it connects to that because, as I said, it doesn't. But that's where that paragraph sits. So that's your building the representation. Use these success criteria to really check that you're on track.